Most heart surgeons have recently warned that walking alone might not protect your heart and could even be dangerously overrated. If you're over 65, and especially if you've had joint pain, fatigue, or limited mobility, then this video could be a real eye-opener. Because today we're exploring 5 expert-backed alternatives to walking, simple, safe activities that boost circulation, strengthen your heart, and energize you, all without leaving your home. If you've been struggling with poor circulation, numb feet, swelling in the legs, or just that sluggish feeling that comes from sitting too long, you're not alone. Millions of older adults face the same challenges, and many feel stuck, like walking is their only option, even when it hurts. But it's not your only option. And the 5 alternatives we'll cover today might be exactly what your heart has been waiting for. So if you care about protecting your heart, sharpening your brain, and staying mobile and independent well into your 80s and beyond, stay with me. What you learn today could change how you feel tomorrow, literally. Let's begin. Number 1, seated leg pumps. One of the simplest, most underrated exercises for heart and blood health, especially if walking is difficult, is the seated leg pump. It might sound too easy, even a bit silly, but the truth is, this gentle motion mimics the natural pumping action of walking without putting stress on your knees or hips. And more importantly, it engages the calf muscles, which many cardiologists call your second heart. Here's why that matters. Every time your calf muscles contract, they help push blood upward from your legs back toward your heart. This keeps your circulation flowing and prevents blood from pooling in your lower limbs, which is one of the main reasons older adults struggle with swollen ankles, cold feet, or even dangerous clots. Without that pumping action, your heart has to work twice as hard to move blood upward, especially when you're sitting for long periods. What makes a seated leg pump so powerful is that you can do it anywhere, while reading, watching TV, eating dinner, or waiting at the doctor's office. Just sit upright, plant your feet flat on the floor, and slowly raise your heels while keeping your toes on the ground. Hold for a second, then lower. Then do the opposite. Raise your toes while keeping your heels down. That's it. That little up and down motion gets your calf muscles firing and your blood moving again. Now here's where the psychology comes in. Many seniors feel helpless when they're told to move more, especially when they're in pain or unsteady on their feet. But the seated leg pump breaks that mental barrier. It shows that you can do something right now without needing special equipment, a trip to the gym, or even shoes. And that one small action can be the spark that restores your confidence, your independence, and your trust in your body again. I once spoke with a man named Ronald. He's 78, lives alone, and hadn't walked more than a few steps without feeling dizzy. His doctor told him to walk more, but he just couldn't. Then his physical therapist taught him the seated leg pump. He started doing 20 reps every hour on the hour, while watching his favorite Westerns. 2 weeks later, his swelling was down, his energy was up, and he said, "I finally feel like I'm participating in my own recovery." It's not about how much you move. It's about how consistently you get your blood flowing. And the seated leg pump does exactly that, gently, safely, and right from your chair. Number 2, wall push-ups. Most people think push-ups are just for building arm muscles or working out at the gym. But what most seniors don't realize is that wall push-ups, when done regularly, can do wonders for your heart, your circulation, and your overall vascular health. And the best part, you don't need to get on the floor, you don't need any equipment, and you don't need to break a sweat to get the benefits. Here's how it works. When you do a wall push-up, you're engaging not just your chest and arms, but your core and upper body muscles. These muscles play a surprising role in supporting blood flow, especially around your chest and back, where many seniors experience tightness or poor circulation. Each controlled movement also encourages your heart to pump more efficiently and strengthens the muscles that support healthy breathing, which is vital as we age. And unlike walking, which can cause strain on the knees, hips and lower back wall push-ups are entirely weight-supported. That means you can control the intensity, take it slow, and still feel like you're giving your body a real challenge. You simply stand a few feet from a sturdy wall, place your hands flat at shoulder height, and slowly bend your elbows to bring your chest closer to the wall, then push back. That's it. 10 of these can wake up your whole upper body and get your blood moving. Now let's talk about the emotional layer. Many older adults carry a hidden weight on their chest, anxieties, regrets, frustrations that sit like bricks in the heart. Gentle physical movement like wall push-ups doesn't just work the muscles. It releases some of that emotional pressure. You might find that after a few repetitions, Your breathing deepens, your posture improves, and your mood shifts. That's not a coincidence. That's your nervous system responding to safe, controlled movement with relief. One woman I know, her name's Margaret, she's 82, started doing wall push-ups after her doctor told her she needed to build up her body strength. She was nervous at first, afraid of falling or straining something. But after trying just 5 each morning by her kitchen counter, she said something that stuck with me. I thought my body was too old to do this, but now I realize it was just waiting for permission. The truth is, strength after 75 doesn't have to mean lifting weights or walking miles. Sometimes it's as simple as leaning into a wall and showing your body it can still support you. And once you feel that strength again, even in small doses, it changes the way you carry yourself through the day. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 3, seated leg lifts. If you've ever struggled with circulation in your legs, swelling in your ankles, or cold feet that just won't warm up, seated leg lifts might be the one habit that changes everything. You don't need to leave the house. You don't need any special equipment. All you need is a sturdy chair and 5 minutes of your time. But the benefits, they go far beyond what most people expect. Seated leg lifts target the largest muscles in your body, your thighs, calves, and hips. And when those muscles are engaged, something remarkable happens. Your blood starts flowing more freely, especially from the lower extremities back up toward your heart. This is a big deal because for many seniors, the blood has a harder time making that uphill journey. That's what causes the swelling, the coldness, and even the fatigue you feel in your legs after sitting too long. But here's the simple truth: when you lift your leg just a few inches off the ground, while seated, you're activating your quadriceps and engaging your vascular system. Do this rhythmically, alternating legs, and you'll notice something surprising. Your feet warm up, your knees feel more stable, and your heart doesn't have to work quite so hard to push the blood through. Over time, this small act can lower your resting heart rate and improve your overall stamina. There's also a hidden psychological benefit to this motion. Seated leg lifts send a subtle signal to your brain. I'm still in control of my body. And for many older adults, especially those recovering from illness or living with mobility concerns, this is a powerful statement. Anxiety often creeps in when we feel helpless. But a simple, repeated motion, done calmly and consistently, gives us a sense of rhythm and purpose. It builds back a sense of agency, one lift at a time. Let me tell you about George. He's 79 years old and lives alone after his wife passed 5 years ago. For a while, he told me he barely moved at all during the day, except to get up for meals. Then one day, while watching television, he started lifting his legs every time the commercials came on. At first, it was just something to do. But after a few weeks, he said, I didn't feel so stuck anymore. I didn't feel like I was waiting for the day to end. I felt like I was participating again. That's the real miracle of movements like this. They're small, quiet, and often go unnoticed. But inside your body, they're telling your heart, your blood vessels, your muscles, and even your mind that you're still here and you're still strong. You may not be climbing stairs or walking around the block, but you are actively caring for the engine that keeps everything running. And when you realize that strength doesn't always have to look like effort, you start to reframe what progress means. Maybe it's not about walking faster or lifting heavier. Maybe it's about sitting in your chair, lifting your leg and choosing consciously to take one more step toward vitality. That's not just exercise. That's wisdom in motion. Number 4, hand grip squeezes. Most people think of heart health as something that depends on big muscles and long walks. But what if I told you that one of the most powerful tools for protecting your heart is right in the palm of your hand? That's right, your grip. The simple act of squeezing can quietly train your heart, improve your blood pressure, and increase your vascular strength without you ever getting up from your chair. Hand grip exercises are not flashy. You won't break a sweat, and you probably won't feel like you're doing much at all. But the science behind them is remarkable. When you grip and release with intention, you're doing more than flexing your fingers. You're stimulating the tiny arteries in your hands and arms. This creates what's called a vascular response that lowers systolic blood pressure, the pressure your heart uses to push blood through your arteries. In fact, many cardiologists now recommend hand grip therapy as part of blood pressure management, especially for seniors who can't do more intense workouts. Why does this matter so much? Because for people over 70, high blood pressure is one of the quietest threats. You can feel fine on the outside, but inside your heart is working overtime. And that extra strain can lead to fatigue, dizziness, shortness of breath, and over time, real damage. But by engaging in hand grip exercises, just a few minutes each day, you're giving your heart a chance to relax and reset. There's also a connection between hand strength and longevity. Numerous studies have shown that people with stronger grips tend to live longer and more independently. Why? Because grip strength isn't just about the hand. It's a reflection of your entire body's muscular and nervous system health. When your grip fades, it often signals decline in balance, coordination, and confidence. But when you train it, even with something as small as a tennis ball or a soft resistance ring, you send a message through your nervous system: I'm still strong, I still have control. Ellen, an 83-year-old woman I once met at a senior center, carried a little yellow stress ball with her everywhere. She didn't use it to relieve stress, though. She used it to strengthen her heart. 3 squeezes every time I sit down, she told me, and 3 more when I get up. That little routine became her ritual. And what surprised her most was how much more energy she felt throughout the day, not just in her hands, but in her whole body. She told me, I used to feel like my heart was racing even when I wasn't doing anything. But now it feels like my heart is working with me, not against me. The beauty of grip training is that it doesn't demand your legs, your back, or your balance. It meets you where you are. Whether you're sitting by the window, talking on the phone, or watching a favorite show, you can be quietly improving your heart in circulation. No need for fancy equipment or exhausting routines. And perhaps most importantly, it gives you a sense of control. When so much of aging feels like letting go of speed, letting go of routines, letting go of confidence, this is one thing you can grab onto, literally. One small squeeze at a time. That alone can make a world of difference. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 5, seated leg raises. You don't have to be running marathons to keep your heart young and your blood flowing strong. Sometimes all it takes is moving your legs while sitting down. That's right. Seated leg raises may look simple, but they are one of the most underestimated movements for seniors over 70 who want to improve circulation, strengthen their lower body, and protect their heart from long periods of inactivity. When we sit for long stretches, especially as we get older, blood starts to pool in the legs. This makes the heart work harder to push it back up. Over time, this strain can increase the risk of clots, swelling, and high blood pressure. But seated leg raises act like a gentle pump for your entire lower body. They encourage circulation, reduce venous pressure, and help oxygen-rich blood reach the muscles and tissues that need it most. The brilliance of this exercise lies in how adaptable it is. You can do it while reading the newspaper, waiting for your coffee to brew, or talking with a friend. All you do is sit comfortably, keep your back straight, and slowly raise one leg at a time, holding it for a few seconds, then lowering it back down. That's it. No equipment, no weights, just you and your muscles quietly waking up. What happens beneath the surface, though, is impressive. Your quadriceps, the large muscles in your thighs, start to activate. These muscles play a key role in helping your body pump blood back toward your heart. By engaging them regularly, you're not just keeping your legs strong, you're easing the burden on your heart. That's a powerful return for such a small effort. There's also an emotional benefit many people overlook. When you can lift your own legs easily, you feel more capable. You're more likely to get out of chairs without help, walk with more confidence, and trust your own body again. That confidence spills over into how you carry yourself, how you interact with others, and even how you sleep at night. Because feeling capable physically often helps ease the kind of quiet worry that can creep in as we age. I once spoke to Harold, a 78-year-old man who started doing seated leg raises after a minor stroke. At first, he said it felt silly. I thought, what's the point of this? But within a few weeks, he noticed he was walking to the mailbox with less effort. He wasn't as tired climbing the stairs. Most of all, he said, I didn't feel useless anymore. I felt like I was doing something again. And that's the real gift here. These movements are not about vanity or chasing youth. They're about dignity. They're about reclaiming your ability to move on your own terms, in your own time, without fear. That's something no one can give you. You earn it one lift at a time. So if you felt stuck, tired, or hesitant to move, just remember your legs aren't asking you to run. They're asking you to raise them gently a few inches at a time. And in doing so, you're quietly building strength, improving circulation, and supporting your heart in a way it will thank you for. Final thoughts. If there's one thing I've learned in my 85 years of living, it's that real change doesn't require perfect health, expensive equipment, or even a whole lot of time. It just takes a little curiosity, a little willingness, and the belief that your body still matters, because it does. In fact, I'd say that's when it matters the most. You see, so many people our age are made to feel invisible. The world rushes by, the noise grows louder, and suddenly we start to shrink. But the truth is, inside every senior, yes, even the ones with bad knees or a slower step, there's still a spark of vitality, of strength, of resilience. That spark never leaves. It just waits for you to notice it again. And that's what these 5 simple practices are really about. They're not just physical movements. They're messages. Messages that say you are still here. You still count, and you still have the power to care for your own heart. Each time you sit and squeeze your toes or press your palms together, or even raise your legs while watching TV, you're reminding your body and your spirit that you're not done. You're not giving up. You're choosing to show up for yourself, even in the smallest ways. And let me tell you, those small ways, they add up. They build momentum. They create peace. I know life isn't always easy at this stage. Maybe you've lost someone you loved. Maybe your body doesn't feel like it used to. Maybe some days you just feel tired of it all. That's okay. That's human. But in those moments, I hope you'll remember what we talked about today. That there are still things within your reach, still choices you can make that will help your blood flow, steady your heart, and bring you just a little more ease. You're never too old to do something kind for your heart. You're never too far gone to try something gentle, simple, and healing. Even if you can't walk like you used to, even if your energy isn't what it once was, there are still options, still hope, still ways to support the beautiful body that's carried you all these years. So here's what I'd love for you to do. Pick one of these 5 things and try it today. Not all 5, just one. Maybe it's the fist squeeze. Maybe it's the heel toe pump. Maybe it's the breath hold. Start with the one that feels easiest to you and let yourself feel what it does, not just in your chest, but in your mood, in your mind, in your sense of being alive again. Because the truth is, healing doesn't always happen in big leaps. Sometimes it happens in a quiet kitchen chair, while you gently lift your leg and feel the warmth return to your feet. Sometimes it happens in a pause between breaths when you realize you're still here, and that's something to be proud of. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.